Let's be honest, Asia has never seen queer masculinity like this. From flawless visuals to fearless fashion, from BL dramas to viral thirst traps, these young gay stars are queering the game in the boldest, hottest, and most unapologetic ways. They don't need to shout. Their presence speaks volumes. They're not just actors or models. They're icons. Symbols of a new generation that's breaking stereotypes, rewriting beauty standards, and making millions fall in love, regardless of gender. Today on Rainbow Spotlight, we're diving into the rise of Asia's most magnetic gay stars, men who are turning masculinity into art and queerness into power. Ready to fall under their spell? Edison Fan, China's silent storm of queer masculinity. He doesn't speak loudly. He doesn't give interviews about his sexuality. He doesn't need to. Because the moment Edison Fan steps in front of a camera, the entire internet takes notice. And so does the LGBTQ+ community. Born in China and raised between cultures, Edison Fan rose to fame not through a blockbuster film or viral scandal, but through a slow, steady storm of stunning visuals and undeniable charisma. As a model and actor, he became a quiet internet sensation, his face, jawline, and eyes appearing in fan edits, Pinterest boards, and gay Tumblr feeds around the world. But Edison wasn't just another pretty face. What made him stand out was energy, soft yet strong, magnetic yet mysterious. With every shoot, every expression, he blurred the lines of traditional masculinity in Chinese media. He was shirtless without being vulgar, sensual without being explicit, and most importantly, he embraced a kind of masculinity that wasn't built on dominance, but on elegance, emotion, and poise. It didn't take long before fans started whispering, "He's one of us." And though Edison never made an official statement about his sexuality, his presence became iconic within queer circles. He modeled for LGBTQ+ inclusive brands, shared photo sets with soft queer undertones, and maintained a mysterious public image that made him even more magnetic. What's powerful about Edison isn't just what he says, it's what he represents. In a country where queerness is still heavily censored, where gay icons are often erased, Edison Fan exists boldly and visibly. His popularity grew in spite of the system, or maybe because of it. To this day, he's one of the few male Chinese models who maintains a loyal global gay fan base without saying a single word about his identity. And that speaks volumes about his impact. His style is minimal but never boring. His Instagram is a gallery of sculpted silhouettes, dreamy lighting, and emotion in every pose. He's collaborated with international photographers, graced the covers of LGBTQ+ friendly magazines, and shown that queer masculinity in Asia can be elegant, ethereal, and powerful, all at once. Edison Fan didn't ask to be an icon. He just lived like one. He reminds us that representation doesn't always come with rainbow flags or press releases. Sometimes it comes in the form of quiet confidence, a gaze, a gesture, a presence so undeniably queer it needs no explanation. Drop A if Edison's silent strength speaks louder than words. Jeff Satur, the Thai heartthrob, turning queer vibes into global stardom. It started with a voice, smooth, rich, aching with emotion. But Jeff Satur didn't stop at singing. He brought that same soulful energy into acting, fashion, and every frame of his existence. And somewhere along the way, he became one of Asia's most unexpected queer icons. Born in Thailand, Jeff Satur first gained attention through his music. Romantic ballads, moody synth pop, and lyrics that always felt like they were speaking to you. But it was his role in the hit BL, boys love drama, Kin Porsche, that catapulted him into international queer stardom. He wasn't just another actor in a gay love story. Jeff made the entire experience feel real, raw, romantic, and maybe just a little bit dangerous. His chemistry with co-star Barcode was off the charts, and fans around the world took notice. But here's what really set Jeff apart. He never distanced himself from the LGBTQ+ narrative. In interviews, red carpets, and behind-the-scenes content, Jeff embraced his role in the community, not just as an actor playing gay, but as someone who gets it. He wore sheer shirts, painted nails, pearl necklaces. He wasn't afraid to be soft, and he wasn't afraid to mix that softness with confidence and sex appeal. Jeff doesn't need to say, "I'm gay," or even, "I'm queer." His whole existence is queer-coded in the most beautiful way, and he knows exactly what he's doing. On stage, he moves like silk. In photo shoots, he gives angles that belong in a museum. His fashion choices scream, "I know who I am." And his social media is a masterclass in how to keep fans hooked without revealing everything. But don't let the aesthetics fool you. Jeff's artistry runs deep. He writes his own music. He co-produces. He pours real emotion into his lyrics, often blurring the lines between male and female pronouns, between heartbreak and euphoria, between love and longing. And that fluidity? It resonates, especially with Gen Z fans who crave authenticity more than labels. In a region where LGBTQ+ representation can still be cautious or commercialized, Jeff Satur feels real. He feels fearless, and he feels like a breath of fresh, glittering, gender-defiant air. Jeff isn't just playing a role, he's creating space for softness, for sensuality, for queer beauty in all its forms. He's redefining what it means to be a male star in Asia. Less toxic masculinity, more velvet masculinity. And honestly, the world is better for it. Drop a 2 if Jeff Satur's vibe makes you believe in beautiful rebellion. Yin Anan Wong, the boy love star who became a queer icon. Without saying a word in Thailand's booming BL, boys love industry, dozens of young actors rise and fall every year. But Yin Anan Wong didn't just rise, he soared. And he did it with a quiet intensity that made him stand out from the very beginning. With his soft features, deep eyes, and calm demeanor, Yin became a fan favorite in the BL drama world, most notably through his breakout role in End of Love. But what truly made him unforgettable wasn't just the on-screen romance. It was the way he blurred fiction and reality, masculinity and vulnerability, silence and expression. From the moment he appeared on screen, viewers were hooked, not just by the storylines, but by him. His chemistry with co-star War Wanarat was electric. The way they looked at each other, touched, laughed, cried, it felt real. And for many LGBTQ+ fans across Asia, it was real. It was representation they had never seen before. And Yin, he never distanced himself from that. While many actors carefully navigate their public personas in fear of being labeled, Yin embraced the love. He leaned into the fan base. He smiled in interviews when asked about shipping. He wore soft cardigans and bold eyeliner. He posed for photos that felt tender, romantic, sometimes even intimate. But he never had to say a word, because sometimes presence is louder than proclamation. Yin's Instagram became a visual love letter to queer aesthetics, muted tones, lingering gazes, minimalist fashion, and a sense of emotional openness rarely seen in male Thai celebrities. He cultivated an image that was authentic, unafraid, and queer-coded in the best possible way. And his fans felt it. Across Southeast Asia and beyond, queer youth looked to him as a symbol, not just of beauty, but of possibility. Of the idea that maybe, just maybe, they didn't have to explain themselves either. That just existing, just being, was enough. Yin also took his influence beyond the screen. He supported LGBTQ+ charities, spoke out against hate online, and made sure his fan base remained a space of kindness and inclusion. While some stars used the BL wave for fame alone, Yin used it to build something more lasting: trust. And perhaps that's why he remains so beloved, not just as a performer, but as a person. Yin Anan Wong didn't just play a queer character, he became a queer icon, softly, quietly, gracefully. And in a world that often demands noise and controversy to create change, Yin reminds us that sometimes change comes wrapped in gentleness, in elegance, in the quiet power of being exactly who you are. Drop a 3 if Yin's quiet rebellion made you feel seen in the softest way. Kwon Hyunbin, Viini, the K-pop heartthrob who redefined soft masculinity. In the fast-paced, highly stylized world of K-pop, standing out isn't easy. Yet Kwon Hyunbin, also known by his stage name Viini, didn't just stand out. He rewrote the rules. Tall, chiseled, and effortlessly photogenic, Hyunbin first gained attention as a trainee on Produce 101 Season 2, a survival show infamous for its pressure and perfectionism. He didn't make it into the final group, but what he did gain was far more enduring, a fiercely loyal fan base drawn to his soft-spoken charm and androgynous beauty. But Hyunbin didn't settle for being just another pretty face in the K-pop machine. He pivoted into solo music, modeling, and acting, all while cultivating an image that was quietly, confidently queer-coded. Not because he made any grand declarations, but because his aura spoke louder than words. His Instagram became a gallery of gender-fluid fashion. Lace blouses, sheer fabrics, pearl chokers, and vintage silhouettes. He posed with flowers, painted nails, and sultry glances that blurred the lines between idol and icon. The energy he projected wasn't just fashion-forward, it was soft masculinity redefined, a delicate rebellion wrapped in velvet and lip gloss. And fans noticed, in a culture where male idols are often boxed into hyper-masculine or boyish personas, Hyunbin refused to choose. He played with aesthetics. He layered himself in ambiguity. And in doing so, he created a space for K-pop fans, especially queer fans, to breathe. There were whispers, of course, rumors, endless online threads dissecting his outfits, his friendships, his lyrics. But Hyunbin never gave in to pressure. He never denied. He never confirmed. He just kept being, evolving in the public eye with the elegance of someone who knew exactly who he was and didn't need permission to be it. What made him truly iconic, though, wasn't just the style. It was the substance. In interviews, he spoke about self-expression, the importance of being emotionally open, and the beauty of individuality. He promoted messages of self-love to his fans. He collaborated with photographers known for their queer-leaning visual storytelling. He chose projects that emphasized vulnerability, nuance, and depth over mainstream appeal. And that choice, it resonated. Kwon Hyunbin became more than just a model or a singer. He became a canvas on which a new kind of masculinity was painted, one that embraced softness, sensuality, and fluidity without fear. In a world that often forces men to harden themselves to survive, Hyunbin chose softness, and that in itself is revolutionary. Drop a 4 if Hyunbin's fearless elegance changed the way you see modern masculinity. Austin Lin, the Taiwanese star who wears confidence like couture. Austin Lin isn't your typical Asian heartthrob. He doesn't need six-pack abs or over-the-top dramatics to steal the screen. He walks in quiet but magnetic, and you can't look away. Born in Taiwan, Austin first stepped into the limelight through a singing competition. But it wasn't long before the camera fell in love with him, and so did the audience. He transitioned into acting, quickly becoming one of Taiwan's most captivating leading men. But what truly set him apart wasn't just his talent, it was his energy. That subtle, tender, queer-coded charisma that wrapped around you like silk. While never officially labeling his sexuality, Austin Lin's on-screen choices and off-screen presence have made him a powerful icon within the LGBTQ+ community. He's starred in multiple queer-themed films and dramas, most notably Your Name Engraved Herein, the highest-grossing LGBTQ+ film in Taiwanese history. In the film, Austin's performance as a conflicted young man grappling with love and identity was heartbreakingly tender and painfully real. But what's more remarkable is how he carried that tenderness into real life. In interviews, Austin spoke candidly about masculinity and vulnerability. He embraced his feminine side with grace, often wearing soft fabrics, loose silhouettes, and gender-fluid fashion that blurred traditional lines. His style wasn't just fashionable, it was intentional, the kind that whispers instead of screams. That says, "I'm comfortable in who I am, even if you're not." He posed for photos in linen suits and pastel cardigans. He walked red carpets in silk and suede. His Instagram feed became a curated diary of softness, art, and quiet rebellion. And through it all, he became something rare in Asian entertainment, a man who represented possibility. Austin Lin became the face of a different kind of leading man, one who didn't need to dominate the room with bravado, one who could hold space through softness, honesty, and a kind of emotional luxury that made audiences, especially queer ones, feel seen. In a media landscape that often prizes loudness, he proved that grace can be radical. He hasn't shouted from rooftops or waved a rainbow flag, and he doesn't need to. His work, his presence, his aura speaks louder than words. In a region where LGBTQ+ representation is still growing, Austin Lin remains a beacon, not just of beauty, but of balance. And for those who crave subtlety in a world of extremes, he is the icon they've been waiting for. Drop a 5 if Austin Lin's quiet confidence reminds you that true strength often whispers. These 5 stars didn't just redefine what it means to be gay in Asia, they redefined what it means to be magnetic, unapologetic, and limitless. In a region where tradition often speaks louder than individuality, they dared to write their own scripts through fashion, film, music, and quiet rebellion. Whether it's Edison Fan's bold elegance, Jeff Satur's soft masculinity, or Austin Lin's poetic grace, each of them proves one thing: you don't have to be loud to make noise. You don't have to declare who you are when your entire presence radiates truth. Luxury isn't just material, it's the freedom to be yourself in a world that expects you to be someone else. So here's to the next generation of icons, who walk with light, love without shame, and inspire millions just by existing. Which of these Asian gay icons spoke to your soul the most? Drop their number or a rainbow below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay close for more dazzling stories from the world of queer stardom, only on Rainbow Spotlight.